Our company specializes in simplifying complex property sales, and today I'm going to explain to you the 6-step process you're going to need to sell a probate property. Right now, we're actually getting this question a lot because of a probate property that we have on the market. So I'll use that example to help explain it a little better. Let's pretend that Richard passes away, that didn't have a will or didn't have the house in a trust. He didn't have anything. This is going to lead the property to go to probate. Here, the court steps in and will appoint an administrator or personal representative. The administrator will have the role of signing and selling the property. But they're not like the average seller. They take on a fiduciary duty, which means they represent the estate because there may be creditors that need to be paid off before they receive their profits. There may be other beneficiaries, and they all need to get their money, so they can't sell it to their cousin or their best friend for $1. They need to make the best financial decision. First, valuation or appraisal. First up is finding out how much the property is worth. Now, this doesn't mean that the Zillow price is a price. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to hire a trusted professional, a licensed appraiser who understands the market, who understands how to evaluate a property's current value. So in many states, the court requires the property to be sold at least 90% of the appraised value, which makes it even more essential to find an appraiser with experience who won't undervalue or overvalue the price of your property. Number 2, finding the buyer. Once you have an appraisal, you have an idea of what the property is worth. You, as the executor, and your lawyer must file an intention to sell the house and other assets with the court that you may want to sell. This form will include the final appraisal amount and the method you want to use to sell the property. A couple methods including if you just want to take it straight to county auction, if you want to do a traditional on-the-market sale, if you want to do an off-market sale directly to an investor, or whatever strategy you have. When the petition is approved, you are ready to list the property to let the buyers know it's available. Whether you choose to sell the house yourself or choose to use an experienced real estate agent or sell directly to an investor, make sure you have somebody in your corner with experience with probate properties. Number 3, the offers. Whether offers come flying in or trickle in, eventually you'll need to decide which offer is right for you. Evaluating your goals for selling the house is an important part of this step. You need to sell your house quickly to pay off the estate's debts. Should you wait a bit longer and see if you could get more profits for the sale? Or is your property just in despair, needs a lot of maintenance, probably can't get financed by a bank, it's a complete remodel, and you'll need to sell to an investor? You'll need to consider these things when you decide when and how to sell your probate property. Knowing what goals you need to meet with the sale of the property is important for you to make that decision so you can move on to the next step. 4, the notice of action. Once the buyer makes the offer, they must be informed that the sale can only be completed after the court's confirmation. Due to disclosure law, this should not come as a surprise. But if an inexperienced buyer doesn't know the probate process, it could become a conflicting issue. This is often one of the reasons why probate houses are skipped over for another property, even if the probate property is priced to sell fast. The delayed timeline may cause a buyer to decide if it's worth it or not. But suppose you had a buyer who comes forward with an offer and says, okay, let's do it, I'll wait. In that case, the court will review the bid before releasing an order to approve the sale of the property. Now comes the approval for sale. Once somebody wins the bid, the executor will petition the court to authorize the sale of the property. Still, The sale can be canceled if any of the heirs object. That's why it's important to have everybody on the same page before spending months in court. The property then would have to be put on hold, and then the court decides the next steps to take. Finalization of the sale and distribution of the assets. This is the last step. Selling that house, condo, rental property, or piece of land is a smooth and straightforward experience if you have the right team. Even if you experienced a few hitches along the way, once you have that offer and the court accepts, it's time to finalize the sale. The executor or lawyer must file a final account and petition for the final distribution of the asset. When all that's done, and the court approves this, title documents can be signed to make the house's sale official. Well, I hope this video helps you understand the steps for selling a property in Miami, Florida that's under probate. And remember, if you're ready to start your probate process or need some advice, contact Future Generation Homes at 786-400-2628. 786-400-2628. Take care.